Coop, how many of the James Bond movies do you think you've watched?
I've seen them all at some point.
You think you've seen all 27?
It's been a long time since I've seen some of them, but at one point in time, I used to record like the 24 hours of Bond or whatever that TBS would have, or the 48 hours. I would like record all of those, cut out the commercials, and then watch them in my own marathon. I've seen them all at least twice, probably, but I've seen every one of them in the franchise.
What about you, Jermaine? How many of those do you think you've actually seen?
I've probably only seen half of them. I've never been a huge Bond fan, though. I guess everything in my lifetime. So from Living Daylights on, I've seen everything at least twice. But before that, the Connery, more stuff, I'm a little more sketchy on.
Tell me a little bit about the business end of this. I mean, Amazon owns the rights to these films, right? Why are they on Netflix and not on Prime?
It's a great question. They are on Prime, but you have to rent them individually, so they're not really on Prime. They're just kind of on Amazon. But yeah, I think the rights just kind of for these things, like the streaming stuff's so weird. You know, you guys talk about it every month when I do like my streaming column.
Yeah.
It's like the rights to movies just kind of go around all the time. Like I have a friend of mine who works at Max, HBO Max, and like they were getting the first 3 John Wicks on like one day on like the first of the month, but they weren't getting the 4th one until the 22nd. And they're like, well, can we hold them? So they all go up at once, and they're like, no. And so it's really complicated. I don't really know. I do know that it's kind of rare to have every single one minus the first Casino Royale, which doesn't really count.
Yeah,
altogether, yeah.
Yeah, that's so crazy. First of all, there's 2 Bond movies that are called Casino Royale, right?
Right. Yes.
So how silly is that?
Well, the first one is in like the 60s, and it's like the second or third Bond movie, and it was like during Connery, but it wasn't Connery, and I don't think it even is by the same company. I think it's just kind of like based on the Ian Fleming novel. And then they didn't get around to using that same kind of story till Daniel Craig took over. So I don't think most fans, count it as a real Bond movie. And like if you buy a box set, I'm pretty sure it's not in there too. So if you want to talk about complicated rights, I think that's a whole other level.
Coop, one day, one of my favorite memories of my dad is my dad took me one day and we watched a doubleheader in the theater of Dr. No and Goldfinger.
Oh, nice.
I hung out all afternoon with my dad just watching James Bond.
That'd be a double feature.
Yeah, it would be back in the day, double feature.
Awesome.
Hey, let me ask you also, Jermaine, about the Masters of the Universe thing. It kind of surprised me when it popped up in a commercial on TV this week. What's going on with Masters of the Universe?
Yeah, Masters of the Universe is back. The full trailer came online this morning. I didn't cover it, but we covered it on the site. And it's a new live-action take. No Dolph Lundgren to be found anywhere. But a new young cast. Idris Elba's in it. Jared Leto plays Skeletor. I kind of like a handsome young, long-haired kid is He-Man. And it's directed by Travis Knight, who made the best recent Transformers movie in Bumblebee. And he works for Leica, so he did Coraline and Paranorman and all those movies. He's an excellent director. And the trailer, I'm kind of iffy on because it kind of takes place partially in the real world where He-Man is here hiding out. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But once he gets to Eternia, Castle of Grayskull and the sword, it all looks pretty cool. So, yeah, that's a big, MGM movie that's coming out in June.
Wow, yeah. So there you go. Masters of the Universe opens on June the 5th. So Oscar nominations came out this morning. I guess the big story here is how well Sinners did. Did you expect that? I mean, it's a record number of nominations, correct?
Record number of nominations, yeah. And I think it was kind of expected. Like, I don't follow this stuff as closely as some of my colleagues. I enjoy it. I watch the shows. I see all the movies. But, I'm not at every award show kind of, keeping notes. But, yeah, people expected it to do well. I don't think they expected it to do this well. I think a part of it, though, is that there is an extra category, right? Like, so there's best casting. This is the first year we're getting that. So that, that adds another tick to the tally, as it were. And so, it's like how, stats in baseball are a little different from a 162-game season versus whatever. So, but it's awesome. It's warranted. I recently rewatched Sinners, really loved it again the second time, even on Max. And they probably could have gotten more nominations. Delroy Lindo got a very deserved supporting nomination over the young boy in the film, Miles Canton, who people thought was a shoo-in. So who knows?
Yeah, so Sinners got 16 Oscar nominations this morning, and Frankenstein got 15. So,
No, I don't think that's true. No, I think Frankenstein got like 9. The second was, I'm pretty sure, One Battle After Another, which got 13. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Quickly, I did want to ask you about Cobra Kai. So the physical release about that, what are the details on it?
Details are all 6 seasons, one big box set coming out in early March. I don't have a price. I know whatever the price is, I will pay it because I want to have it in my possession, even though it's on Netflix and you can watch it every time. It's like I said in the article, I'm more of a Johnny Lawrence, though. I need to have the old school physical copies, and I kind of wish it was on VHS, even though I don't have a VCR player. But it's going to have, all the shows, and then the only new feature is the creators did brand new commentaries over the first episode and the last episode. So that'd be cool to hear either way.
Man, I love director commentaries. Those you got to listen to that stuff. All right, well, listen. Hey, what number is Bichette going to wear? Is it 19?
They released it yesterday, but I don't remember. No.
I can't remember either. All right, got to let you go. Thanks for jumping on the show. We'll do it again next week. Have a great week.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, Jermaine Lucier, Gizmodo.com. Let's take a break. Oh, Coop, clear the decks. Shelley Hustle, Huntington Bank Money Minutes. That's coming up next. You don't want to miss that. Stay tuned.
The stock market, economy, tariffs, interest rates. We hear a lot about these topics. But what does it all mean for you as you plan for your future? Join us on Thursday for Money Minutes at 3:45 on Hotline as Huntington Bank's local wealth team cuts through the noise and shares how market conditions are impacting us right here in West Virginia. I'm Matt Harris, a member of the local Huntington Bank wealth team. I invite you to catch Money Minutes Thursday on Hotline for insight that will help you navigate your financial future.
Hi, I'm Chris Waddell, Principal and Office Lead for Martinsburg for CEC. After serving in the military, I found my home in Martinsburg. Traveling across the states, I've always wanted to serve my community. At CEC, I get to do just that. Our core values, clients first and we own it, resonate with my mission-driven background. We solve problems by listening and collaborating, and as an employee-owned firm, we take pride in every project that we do. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
MetroNews Hotline, brought to you by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
Coming to the Beckley Convention Center, Saturday 23rd and 24th. Who are the toughest men and women in the state of West Virginia? Watch Tough Man live on MetroNews Television to find out. Featured fights, top 5 finishes, and event archives. Download MetroNews Television on iPhone, iPad, Android, Roku, LG TV, Apple TV, Fire TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Find out more at wvmetronewstv.com.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the road.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
It's high school basketball season, and MetroNews Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream MetroNews Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on MetroNews Television.
All right, welcome back to the show. About 14 minutes till the hour. Coop, look who I found in the hall looking at the barbecue out there.
Very much
I said,
so.
Shelly, get away from the barbecue and get in here and let's talk about what we're supposed to talk about. Money Minutes with Huntington Bank's Shelly Hustle. How you doing, Shelly?
I'm great, and it smells amazing in the studio.
I know it does. I know it does. Well, what a crazy week it's been in the markets, right? We've just been all over the map. We were down 900 points one day earlier this week, and then some comments by the president brought the market way back when he decided not to put tariffs on some of our European NATO partners. I saw this, and I wanted to ask you about it. So a couple of days ago, when the Dow was down almost 900 points, the S&P dropped 2%, then rallied more than 1% the very next day, all while being 5% off an all-time high. Historically, when that happens, the S&P 500 is 85% higher 2 months later for an average gain of almost 4%. So if you just took a nap and didn't pay attention to any of the stuff this week and didn't make any moves, chances are you're going to be all right.
Exactly.
You know?
Isn't that fascinating, too? I think that the market is such an incredibly emotional animal. And when you look at what transpired this week, geopolitically, domestically, with tariffs, and then saying, oh, well, you know what? Never mind. That's actually not going to happen. I mean, look at that. I mean, you were absolutely correct. You would have done better Netflix binge-watching friends or something.
Yeah. The other thing is, sometimes when you are watching the financial news from minute to minute, you tend to make moves that you're sorry that you made later. Not doing anything sometimes is a choice too, right? You don't have to always be buying or selling. Sometimes just making a decision of just holding steady is the right move to make.
Correct. And you are absolutely spot on. I wish that people would turn their televisions off maybe a little more frequently to avoid having those overly emotional reactions.
Speaking of fear of missing out, I got to ask you about commodities too. I mean, with what's going on in the geopolitical situation, it looks like we're on a one-way ticket to $5,000 for gold. Silver is spiking. It's making all-time highs right here. It's up again today. It's north of 95. Before we started today, I always kind of watch the oil and natural gas prices. Natural gas today is up again. It's up like 75% in the last 5 trading sessions. That's the biggest move in 35 years for a 5-day span. Fear of missing out. Have we missed the move on commodities? What do you tell your clients who come in and say, I need to buy gold, I need to be into silver? What about copper, Shelly?
Sure.
You know, what do you say to those people?
So first and foremost, I want to make sure that I'm not particularly endorsing a particular commodity. Having a well-diversified portfolio is key out of the gate. Let's start there. So we generally don't use precious metals in our practice or commodities in our practice at Huntington Bank. But if a client asks for it, we will use an ETF, use a mutual fund that has some exposure to that. But the fear of missing out, again, if you're in a well-diversified portfolio, you really shouldn't have that fear of missing out, and that's very difficult for many people to grasp.
And if you're really not an experienced investor, And when you see those numbers, like what's going on with silver right now, it's a parabolic spike straight up.
Correct.
So, I mean, those usually, they don't end well. Unless you're following the market like every 30 seconds. This is not what you want to do.
Correct. It is caveat emptor. It is do not hold on to the rally with both hands.
You and I were talking about something right before this segment began about Schwab revealed today that 60% of their new customers are under 40 years old. What do you make of that? Is that a trend you're seeing at Huntington Bank? Are you seeing more people under 40 years old coming in to open accounts? Why do you think that is, and is that happening?
Sure. So I think first and foremost, that's a generational thing. I think that those that are under 40 have more investment knowledge because it is readily available. I think that contributions to 401ks and other qualified assets, seeing the growth over time, that's very important for us. Unfortunately, there's a lot of uncertainty, too, with what Social Security is going to look like by the time that those under 40 have retired from the workplace. That seems very far off, but as you know, that happens in an instant. So we are seeing more folks under the age of 40 investing, and that's a wonderful thing.
Well, if you go back like 40 years, calling your broker on your phone, and it was kind of a mystical process. I mean, there were charges also on the trades that you made. Young people just didn't get involved with that. But now when you can trade on your phone and there's so much more information available, you know, the idea that 60% of a company's customers are under 40, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
It does. Absolutely. Yes.
Also, I did want to ask you about this. Are small caps finally having a moment? What are you thinking about this idea that for the first time in a while, well, actually, through Wednesday, small caps, the Russell 2000, outperformed the S&P 500 for 12 straight sessions. When you see that, how do you interpret that?
I think it has a lot to do with our interest rate environment. So interest rates have been accelerated for some time. As we're looking at, how many interest rate cuts we had last year, we're looking at about 1 to 3 cuts this year. The small cap stocks, those types of businesses benefit greatly from interest rate cuts.
My problem with that is most of the Russell 2000 stocks don't have earnings.
Sure.
Right?
Correct.
And so when you see the small cap index, the Russell 2000 leading the way forward, that's not a really good sign for the market.
Possibly. And I think that we need to take a step back and say small caps, mid caps, international REITs, those types of things, they are a part of an overall diversified portfolio. So looking at large cap versus small cap valuation, I think maybe looking at the math, and you'll find perhaps, large caps are scaring people off, and they're finding that safe haven in something.
Yeah, the Mag 7 at this point, we're basically back to where we were in mid-September.
Right.
Although some of them are moving today. I saw where Meta's having a good day.
Right.
It looked like it was a little bit oversold here. Hey, the one quick thing, we got a minute here, but I did want to mention this. We're getting to the latter stages of January. And so at the beginning of the month, it's a brand new year. Think, hey, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and I'm going to really get my finances in order. Now we're almost at the end of the month. It's not too late.
No.
It's definitely not too late, right? To come in, get a checkup, get your finances in order.
Yes, absolutely. And if you are in a position where you can trim some of those losses early on and bank them for the rest of the year, I have a tendency to do that with some of my higher net worth clients in particular, to make sure that if we do have to sell something like an NVIDIA, a highly appreciated asset, which we talk about every time that I'm on the show because it's such a juggernaut, but having that tax cushion to not realize that gain.
That's a good advice. Shelley, we love it when you come by.
I always love being here.
Thank you so much. Shelley Hustle, Huntington Bank, Money Minutes. We do this twice a month. Coop, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up hour number 1 in just a moment. Stay tuned.
MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Need a break from the headlines and
leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia. The High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Steig Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email steig-info@wealthenhancement.com.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra. Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown!
All right, welcome back to the show. Man, we love it when Shelly Hustle from Huntington Bank drops by. We do that a couple of times a month, our association with Huntington Bank. They got some good people over there. All right, we'll take a break here at the top of the hour for news. When we come back, speaking of money, we will take a look at the action in the markets today. Looking pretty good. Reset our question of the day. What are you going to do if the storm hits this weekend? Are you the kind of person that gets cabin fever? Also, Adam Harris is going to drop by from Mountain Stage. What a show they had at the CAC in Morgantown last week with Don Was. So what's next at Mountain Stage? We'll talk about that. Oh, Coop, did you see at 4:33? We're playing Pick One today. So I'm looking forward to that. That's coming up in a half an hour. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Lost him. And you know what? It was just about to get good, too. It was just getting good. We lost
Should
him.
we take the break and maybe he'll call back? I don't know.
You know what? We can take the break, and we can see if Ethan can reconnect with him, because I want to hear where he goes with that answer. I don't know. CJ, I'm just saying, we just started bringing up some deep stuff, and then it gets cut off. Is the Illuminati listening to the show? Just saying.
Welcome back to the show. 3 minutes away from 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock?
That's it. I'm going home.
Dang, man. See ya.
I wouldn't even be on the air on any of our stations before 8 o'clock. I don't know where that came from. Reading, it's hard.
Well, I think when you have a... I'll say in all candor, when you're in a foreign country and a monkey in a diaper sitting on your head, you're asking for trouble.
Discussion can end there. That's right. It's a definitive statement on the issue. Now we move on.
So how many times have you thought about that was a bad idea that I had a monkey on my head since you had the monkey on your head?
Every time I go visit Dr. Pellegrino, my personal doctor. Do you know what it's like to tell your doctor that?
Well, Doc, I also had a monkey. Excuse me? Had a monkey on my head with a diaper on. I bet you that's the first time Dr. Ron has ever heard that one. He's probably heard a lot of things.
He's heard a lot. Yeah, Dr. Ron has.
He's one of the great West Virginians. He's up there from the Northern Panhandle.
He's awesome.
Tremendous. Yeah, Dr. Ron. Good dude.
We were talking in my office earlier, and a phrase that Ryan used that I was really kind of gobsmacked over. He started a sentence with me. He said, "We were watching football on Thursday."
I know, he did the same thing to me. He did this. Is this like Earth 2?
I said, what?
He came back and started telling me about the Cowboys and the Chiefs game.
I know.
And you were watching the Lions game on
Yeah,
Thanksgiving Day.
Well,
What happened? What happened to our little Ryan?
Well, when my Uncle Bill and my Uncle Chris asked if I want to watch football with them, I don't say no.
Okay.
So because I'm not a recluse anymore.
So if you have uncles that are big sports fans, do you get some creds? Are you like, hey, I'm actually you want to kind of sports show, syndicated?
Well, I don't.
Statewide.
Well, I don't want this to be a sports show.
Second game this season that Honors had 8 threes. Second time he's had 8 threes, and his coach has pulled him out with over 4 minutes to go.
You're up 40.
Yeah, but coach just does not want to see him get that record.
There may have been a discussion about that on exactly where he was in the number.
Did you let him know this time?
But there was a discussion about where he was with the number. But at the end of the day, Ross decided the juice not worth the squeeze there. With 3.5 minutes left is when he pulled him out after the timeout there. And that's a guy with a lot of minutes on his in his body. You need to rest him. But 2 out of 11, you got to think maybe he's going to approach that again. Here's what's wild. In those 2 games where he's just been one off of Alex Ruoff's record, he's now a combined 16 of 20 from 3 in those 2 games. So he didn't just make 8 threes, guys. He was 8 of 11 last night. He was 8 of 9 when he did it before. 16 of 20 combined in those 2 games.
Across this great state of West Virginia, welcome in high school game nights. I chuckle a little bit, folks, because it said early edition.
As compared to the
Only
rest
edition.
of the edition, yeah.
Yeah. Tonight is going to be interesting, to say the least.
10 seconds remaining.
Going to be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
You had a moment of clarity about when it all started to make sense for you?
It did, because I didn't want to be a filmmaker growing up. I didn't even know what filmmaking was growing up. I used to watch Oprah and Katie Couric, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be you. And I worked at West Virginia University's radio station, had a very thick accent. People would call in and make fun of me. And so I asked my roommates, my college roommates who were from Baltimore, to teach me how to talk differently.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a loss, I feel, from that. And it's probably one of the reasons why I love documenting people that are authentic. Like, I don't know if I'm authentic, but I think the people I find are very authentically who they are, and that's what draws me to them.
This is MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law. MetroNews Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour.
Navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more.
From a Mountain State point of view, Hotline is a no-politics zone.
You can join the conversation.
Text the show at 304-825-5304.
304-TALK-304.
Here's the host for MetroNews Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. Hour number 2, How Do You Do? MetroNews Hotline, keeping you company in the afternoon here in West Virginia on the MetroNews Radio Network every weekday until 6 o'clock. And wherever you're listening to the show today, inside the state of West Virginia or beyond the borders, just try and get a read on what's going on back home. We hope you're having a good day. It is a beautiful day here in Charleston. I mean, there's so much talk about the winter storm rolling in this weekend, but right now here in Charleston, temperature about 45 degrees, blue skies, not a lot of wind out there. It's a gorgeous day, and we're glad you're listening. We got a lot of stuff to get into in this particular hour. We'll take a look at what happened in the financial markets today. Another good day in the markets. Really good day in terms of natural gas prices. We talked about that with Shelley Hussle from Huntington Bank right before the break at the leading up to the top of the hour. We'll take a look at a couple of West Virginia related stocks too. Question of the day involves the winter storm. What else? Adam Harris is here from Mountain Stage, and we're going to be talking about some pretty interesting stories of the past.
I've had enough of this storm already.
We haven't had a single flake of snow yet. So we'll talk with Adam. And I want to talk to him especially about last week's show that was so well received. Don was in Morgantown. Yeah. We'll get into that in a sec. A little bit later on in this half hour, the entertainment report. Coop and I are going to play Pick One. That'll be at 4:33. A little bit later on in this hour, we'll open up the On This Date file, the 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports, about 52 minutes away. Marshall basketball played at noon today because of the weather, and they hit a school record 26 three-pointers and a 115-60 win in the Sun Belt over ULM today. So we'll be talking about that in more detail a little bit later on. 5 o'clock hour, Amy Smith from Investors Business Daily. We'll play in or out at 5:25. Kevin Kinder from BlueGoldNews.com on the Mountaineer win last night at Arizona State. And what kind of chance does he give West Virginia going up against undefeated and number 1 ranked Arizona this weekend? And we'll have the Capital Report from Jeff Jenkins at 5:40, and then more of your responses to our question of the day. All right, let's go ahead and get started with what happened in the financial markets today. So, pretty good day for the Dow, up 0.6%, gained 307 points, 49,384 at the close. S&P 500 was up 0.5%, tacked on 38 points today, 69.13 to the good. NASDAQ up 0.9%, added 211 points today. NASDAQ closing at 23,436. And Bitcoin today, Bitcoin has been on a bit of a skid the last few sessions. It was down 0.8% today, closing just north of 89,000. Over the last 5 days, Bitcoin is down 6%. Among stocks of local interest to West Virginia, there were big percentage gainers or losers today. Regional banks have been really raging over the last few days. In fact, that'll be one of the things we're going to talk to Amy Smith about today. City Holding was up 2%, gained $2.49, $126.75 at the close today. They were up, but conversely, Fifth Third Bank, which had been roaring in recent sessions, was down 3.7% today. Lost $1.96, 50.91 at the close today. Let me find one more for you. Kroger had a tough day. Kroger down 2.3%, lost $1.50, 62.43 at the close. In the energy space today, oil down 2.1%, lost $1.26. WTI in the NYMEX closed at $59.36. And natural gas came all the way back and actually finished down on the day. I mean, it's been in a parabolic spike the last 5 days, down 1.4% today, lost 7 cents, spent most of the session north of $5, currently now $4.81. We've talked about this before. You can essentially trade natural gas all day long, 23 out of the 24 hours. Natural gas takes a break at 5 p.m. Eastern time, but they start trading again at 6 p.m. So the trend on natural gas has just been crazy up over the last 5 sessions, up about 65%. All right, question of the day. Question of the day, winter storm, a big one hitting the East Coast, including West Virginia this weekend. Hotline question of the day, and it's sponsored by Solango Law. What are your plans if you're snowed in all weekend? Are you the kind of person that suffers from cabin fever? What are your plans if you're snowed in? Are you the kind of person who suffers from cabin fever? To respond, the text line 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. You can find me on X at Weekley, Weekley. Joey on X. Dave, well, the wife has volunteered me to shovel a couple of the neighbors' driveways, so I got that going for me. Nice. Anthony in Clarksburg. We're on the go as a family so much that it would take a little while for us to get cabin fever. I'm just going to break out the snow shovel and take it as it comes. Jody on X. Dave, I'll be catching up on my reading and my sleeping. I do not get cabin fever. All right. Adam Harris is here from Mountain Stage. So you won't have a show this weekend.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
So
Get
what's
the
the deal?
sounder, Coop. Breaking news. We decided to cancel the show. It was becoming more and more obvious that the impending storm and the travel conditions were not going to be conducive to getting our artists here, much less for traveling to the Culture Center on Sunday afternoon. And so we had originally planned to, we made a couple plans. One was to announce by tomorrow at 3, but it's become clear, and some of the artists were starting to get resistant, as you might imagine, to making the trip. And at least one person was flying in on show day, and which is not always advised. Like, I really try to avoid that. Made the exception in this case, and, here it is. Nobody's going to be flying on Sundays. So this Sunday show is canceled. If you had tickets, you'll get an automatic refund. There's info on our social media. But now I've got a chance, like all your other listeners, to get cabin fever this Sunday, I guess. So
yeah, that is something. The logistics of travel and putting people up when they get here in town. I guess it was just easier all the way around to just pull the plug. So when that happens, you get a raid check. Will these people be coming back at some point?
I'm going to have to try to reschedule all 5 guests. And I had it out to try to reschedule this one for next Sunday because we didn't have a show scheduled and the Culture Center was available. So I floated that idea, but anybody that understands the business knows how miraculous that would have been if I would have able to reschedule 5 artists 1 week later on the same show. And that was not possible, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to kind of spread those out over time as they become available, as it's a good fit. The craziest part is I got this show together starting December 2nd, and so it was only on sale for a little while. We barely had time to market it, and it's not ideal to have a show that quick a turnaround, especially with the holidays. But I was trying to get another show in the front end of the year so we would not have to do more this summer, and I had the chance to get Cam. She made herself available to us, and that was a big get for us, and I'm disappointed we won't get to have her. But we'll get her back eventually. They came to us originally, and so I have no doubt we'll get her rescheduled.
A few years ago, I had done a game, and I was flying back in, I think, from Atlanta, and on a Sunday morning, and I was on the same flight with Nils Lofgren.
Nice.
And so
was he coming to do Mountain Stage?
Yes, he was coming to do Mountain Stage.
Very cool.
So how often does that happen where an artist is literally coming to town day of the show?
Oh, it's not ideal, and we almost always try to avoid it. Like I said, this was a special occasion. I was trying to get this show booked, and this artist was going to be in Columbus or Indianapolis somewhere the night before. Said I can come in, but I have to come the day of. So it's not ideal. It's bit us in the past. Where you have an artist just stuck in Charlotte or O'Hare or Atlanta or somewhere and they just can't get to the show. It happens. And so it's a risk. Like anytime somebody's flying in the day of show, you need to have a backup plan.
So when that happens, do you go to the artists on the show and say, can you do one extra song? Or is that when the Carpenter Ants come out and
that's
do
a great
medley?
question. And I was going to share one story because it was 10 years ago. And this morning I heard Dave Allen talking about 10 years ago with Brian Hughes. And I knew exactly when they were talking about it because it was 2016. We had a storm hit, huge storm hit overnight. We had Robert Earl Keen scheduled. He was coming from Roanoke, Virginia. And we had Guster scheduled. And they were supposed to be coming from Philadelphia, but their Pittsburgh gig got canceled. So they stayed in Pittsburgh, didn't go to Philadelphia, and drove down to do the show on that Sunday. And so they actually skipped their Philadelphia gig. I don't know if it would have happened or not, and drove down and made it. And so 3 out of the 4 acts that were scheduled on that show made it. And you know who we called in to perform in the absence? Rhett Miller was stuck. He was flying and couldn't get in. we called Larry Gross, who had a new album out at the time. He had just put out that album, Live Forever, and he graciously agreed. And, of course, he knew what the situation was, and he agreed to do some songs from his album on the show that night. And Robert Earl Keen, it was funny, because at that time he was still touring very heavily. The road goes on forever and the party never ends, right? And this time he was still on the road and it was going on forever. They called a guy, they had stopped at a hardware store or something like that, and this guy, they couldn't get a tow truck to get their bus. It was stuck. They couldn't get out of the hotel parking lot. That's what it was. And they called a Home Depot to ask for ice. And of course, the guy at the hardware store drove over, put the ice out, and then dug them out and helped pull their bus out, all so they could get to Charleston to do Mountain Stage.
You know, wasn't there a show last year in Morgantown, or maybe the year before, where Kathy was supposed to host? She got there, but then that show had to be canceled.
That was a year ago this January. We were supposed to have Jim Lauderdale on the show, and Kathy and some of our team even made it up there because they came in the night before, made it to the venue, and then the interstate was just crazy. I have so many traumatic experiences driving to Morgantown in January, and that was one where we just had to call off the whole thing. And I made a note also because it was 2022 when we went up on Martin Luther King weekend. We so often start our season up there. We went up there Martin Luther King weekend. We all got there. The artists all got there, but then the roads all froze over. WVU, out of the graciousness of their heart, we were just talking about it this past Sunday, they all stayed so we could tape the show. We didn't have audience. We had no audience, which we'd had some practice on because of the pandemic, but we had to cancel that show. They let us do it, and so we put as many people as we could find in the building, anybody that was locally. We put them all out in the cavernous Creative Arts Center, a huge venue, and we taped that episode, and William Matheny was on the show that day, and he was actually on the show this past Sunday with Don Was as well. So plenty of weather-impacted stories.
Hey,
to be
man,
had.
let me ask you about that Don Was show.
Yeah, it was amazing. Incredible.
Ever since that show got announced, and he started performing in New York, he was there a couple of weeks ago at the Blue Note. Well, he's involved with the Blue Note. It'd been picking up a lot of momentum, and people had really been so positive about it.
Insane band.
Yes.
9 pieces.
So how did that go?
It was incredible. It was great. I can't say enough good things about Don Was and his team. There's 9 of them, and anytime you got 9 people plus a tour manager and 2 sound guys, 12 people traveling on a bus together, they have to like each other. They all get along good, and there's some legendary players in his band. Don plays bass. He didn't even sing a song. He's kind of just the ringleader. He was in the background, not literally, but he was in the middle of the group just up there doing his thing while his amazing singer did her job, while the amazing horn players did their job. Guitar player played. He even played some fiddle. Like, they're all insane musicians. And here's the best part, Dave, at least from my side. They were all sweet people. Nobody was hard to work with. Everybody was happy to be there. I kept thinking, when's the other shoe going to drop? Which one's going to be the jerk? Which one? Because you have to be prepared for it. You're dealing with high-level artists. They have certain expectations, and we try very hard to rise to those expectations, and we certainly did with them. They were all sweet as could be, wonderful to work with, and even afterwards, they were all just saying what a great time it was. Their sound guy goes, "Man, are you kidding? This is great," and gave me a high five and I love that. Our crew does a great job of representing us. It's a high-pressure situation when you have Don Was, which not everybody knows that, but if you look at the albums he's produced,
oh man,
it's Bonnie Raitt, it's the Rolling Stones, it's Bob Dylan, Elton John, John Mayer, and he rolls up and he's the sweetest guy in the world. And eventually his sound guy comes in to work on the broadcast, and I'm kind of thinking, oh, maybe this is who's going to be rude. His sound guy got referred to him by Bob Weir, who had just passed away. There was a lot being said about Don Was because he was one of the last people Bob Weir reached out to collaborate with, and with the Wolf Brothers. And so this guy, I think his name was John, the sound guy, said, me and Don have been really sharing some moments. He and I get to cry together after the shows sometimes, just feeling all that emotion, having lost Bob. And meanwhile, they were watching the San Francisco celebration. I'm sure you saw the clip of John Mayer singing Ripple. And, they said they were having this conflicted feeling we should be there, we should be there. But then they also said, and this is what they told me, Bob would be at the gig. No matter what was going on, Bob would have made the gig.
So there was some Grateful Dead content in his set.
Definitely.
And so when is that going to turn around? When are we going to hear that?
It's going to air in March. I think it's March 20th. These are the first of our spring episodes. So we start in the winter taping these episodes, and then they don't start airing until into our spring season. And so this one will be airing in March, and I'll try to remember to send you a note as well. And we asked for 10 extra minutes than what we had asked for for the show because it's a special occasion. A lot of people came to see Don Was. And I don't know if you know what this means, Dave, but we got to help slip Frank.
Ooh.
The last 10 minutes. And if I'm not a huge Grateful Dead fan, I have to shout out Jeff Shirley and John Ingram, my co-producers on the show, because they're big Deadheads. It's 420 as I say this. And and they've really helped educate me. Me and Jeff listened to a 3-hour Grateful Dead podcast when we were driving back from Pittsburgh not too recently. And that's where I found out what a Help Slip Frank is. But their encore was Help Is on the Way, Slipknot, and Franklin's Tower.
Yeah, they were doing stuff from Blues for Allah.
Yes, right.
Which is an unbelievable record. So, I'm really looking forward to that
It was
show.
sweet. And then Kathy chose Ripple as the finale song. And Dawn, after Kathy read the credits, Dawn said a really sweet word about what it was like to perform that song with Bob. And every night you would see great reactions out in the audience, people crying, hugging, laughing, every reaction possible. And it just warmed their hearts so much. And we all felt that Sunday night. It was really touching show.
And Adam, I'm really appreciative you came in to talk about this. I don't want to bury the lead.
Sure.
This weekend show for Mountain Stage is canceled. So
I'm taking Sunday off.
There you go. So when is the next show?
We're going to be in Charleston with Kathy Mattea hosting on February 15th. It's Valentine's Day weekend. Tickets are available online. Just visit mountainstage.org. We're going to have Solace, the great traditional Irish band. They've been coming on Mountain Stage since they began as a band, and they're celebrating 30 years as a group. And so they're going to make us a part of their 30th anniversary tour. And then Tim O'Brien, the West Virginia native, Wheeling native, Grammy winner. He's been on Mountain Stage more than any other artist. Him and his partner, Jan Fabricius, are going to be on the show. And I thought we'd play a song from them that was on the Mountain Stage album from Oh Boy Records. It's called Cup of Sugar. I think I got Coop to pull that one up. It was included on Outlaws and Outliers, the Best of Mountain Stage, live on Mountain Stage album that came out a couple years ago. And Tim gave us the permission to use this cut on the album.
All right, let's hear it, Coop.
My neighbor plays his music for our whole neighborhood. I wouldn't really mind the volume if this taste was any good. He said he saw me on the TV, said he kinda liked my song. I'll be honest, it surprised me, maybe he's not always wrong. I try to pick my battles, don't want to start a war. If I need a cup of sugar, I'll knock on my neighbor's door.
Some people might need a cup of sugar this weekend.
I think so. Adam, thanks for coming in, man.
Always a pleasure.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and we're coming back with the Entertainment Report in just a minute.
Now the weather's nice again.
Planning your financial future doesn't have to be overwhelming. Huntington Bank is here to help. I'm Shelley Hustle, part of your local Huntington Wealth team right here in West Virginia. We work with people just like you to create smart strategies for life's big moments and market uncertainty. Tune in for Money Minutes this Thursday at 3:45 on Hotline, where we'll discuss the week's top financial trends and what they mean for you. Catch Money Minutes Thursday at 3:45 on MetroNews Hotline.
Hi, I'm Zach Hupp, Project Manager with CEC. After graduating from Glenville State College, I took over my dad's surveying business. It was fulfilling, but when CEC came calling, I knew it was an opportunity I couldn't refuse. With CEC, I'm reaching clients I never dreamed of and seeing projects through to completion. It's more than a job, it's a new chapter. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
Don't forget about our podcast.
Check out your favorite podcast provider
Or simply go to wvmetronews.com and click on the podcast link.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law.
On Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers.
We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement, and we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
Coming to the Beckley Convention Center, Saturday 23rd and 24th. Who are the toughest men and women in the state of West Virginia? Watch Tough Man live on MetroNews Television to find out. Featured fights, top 5 finishes, and event archives. Download MetroNews Television on iPhone, iPad, Android, Roku, LG TV, Apple TV, Fire TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Find out more at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
/brain health to learn more.
Freezing weather is even hitting down south this weekend. The forecast calls for ice and snow as far south as Texas. Yeah. So they're officially updating the state slogan to, I swear everything usually looks bigger in Texas.
Almost halfway home on this edition of the show, talking TV and more now. Hey, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon's new action movie on Netflix, The Rip, drawing almost 42 million views in the first 3 days on Netflix. That's a lot. That's the biggest film launch on Netflix since Happy Gilmore 2 did almost 47 million views back in July. Let's take a quick break here at the bottom of the hour for local news. When we come back, it'll be time to play Pick One. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Aaron Parker. The Northern Panhandle will be the beneficiary of a large new natural gas development. Governor Patrick Morrisey announced today that the company Calpine will be investing $1 billion on a project to build a 500-megawatt power plant in Moundsville. Morrisey announced his 50 by 50 plan in September with a goal of increasing the state's energy capacity from 15 to 50 gigawatts by the year 2050. He says new energy projects are a business boost.
We announced in September, and between that and I would argue the data center bill and the bills from last year that we passed, we're getting wild enthusiasm from energy companies across the country, and I think it's only going to continue.
The use for the power generated by the new facility is not yet decided, but it could be paired with additional growth. The state's number of special education students in public schools continues to rise, and the costs are also going way up. State School Superintendent Michelle Blatt stood before lawmakers today in the House Finance Committee. According to Blatt, right now, they're getting about half of the funds that it takes to educate all the students. She says things are getting expensive.
A lot of that comes in, again, to personnel. Because so many of our high-need special education students, need nurses. They need a one-on-one aid and these different resources. And so all of those things impact and pull from the other services our counties are able to provide.
You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Hi, I'm Lane Tobin, and I'm a project consultant with Civil and Environmental Consultants. Growing up in West Virginia, I always dreamed of giving back to my community. That's why I chose CEC. As an employee-owned firm, we combine big company support with a close-knit culture. From stormwater management to new pedestrian trails, with every project, I see the impact we're making, and I couldn't be prouder. CEC isn't just where I work, it's where I make a difference. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
Premiering January 22nd at 7:30 p.m. on Metro News Television. Your friends at Hope Gas present episode 6 of State of Minds. Hoppy Kercheval visits with Jacob Gordon, world-renowned tattoo artist and owner of Katana Gold.
People appreciate cool tattoos and they appreciate good tattoos. It's a way to make yourself different.
Coming to Metro News TV on January 22nd at 7:30 p.m. Presented by Hope Gas with support from Greer Industries. Only on the Metro News Television app.
Snow and ice totals for the weekend for specific parts of the state is still a moving target. The state is under a winter storm watch from the National Weather Service for tomorrow morning into Monday morning. Governor Morrissey has issued a state of preparedness for all 55 counties. Metro News AccuWeather meteorologist Bill Degger.
I think a good first call for this storm is 6 to 10 inches of accumulation on average across the area. Now, again,
he said that could still shift. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Aaron Parker.
Ask yourself what you will miss more, your children or cigarettes. As long as I can remember, my mother smoked. She died from lung cancer when I was 16. I could not take the chance of continuing smoking and not being here for my daughter. I know how much I needed my mom still, and I didn't realize it until I had lost her.
You're not just quitting for yourself. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
All right, welcome back to the show. Coop, we've really had a good lineup of guests today. You know, Jermaine Lucier was here. Shelley Hustle dropped in.
Right.
Adam Harris. We didn't even get a chance to even talk about wrestling with Adam.
I know. It was all music with Adam. It was good stuff.
We're going to be doing some local wrestling stuff soon. We have all these cameras in here now. We need to figure out a way to do wrestling at on location. Oh man, I'm so with you on this. It can be in the studio. It's too crowded in there now. But we can take cameras, in the building somewhere. Like maybe we could do something, I don't know, up on the third floor. Oh, that would be so great. Or the roof. We could have like a wrestling ring out next to the satellites. And we could use that would be like the backdrop would be like the radio satellites. Cool. We could have Adam Harris be up in the ring doing the ring announcing, and you and I could be mic'd up and heckle him. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. We could be like the Mean Gene Okerman on the sideline. We would just be Mean Gene and Bobby the Brain. But by the way, don't take this the wrong way. You are perfect for that. You are absolutely perfect for that role. All right. Let's play Pick One. Let's get into it. Time for Pick One. Rules are kind of explained in the title, and pick one for each topic. 2 choices are given. You must select one of them. Hence, you must pick one. Coop and I have 5 sets of Pick One topics. We have not seen each other's Pick One selections. There are no correct answers. There are simply opinions. Honest responses are likely to result in hurt feelings that could jeopardize our friendship and working relationship. But we're willing to risk all that for the sake of higher ratings, of course. Let's get started. Are you ready to go, Coop? Yeah, man, I'm ready. All right, pick one topic number 1. Rick Pitino at St. John's is going for his 900th career win on Saturday. Standing in the way, his son Richard Pitino, the coach at Xavier. West Virginia played Xavier earlier this year. Pitino currently ranks 5th all-time in wins among NCAA Division I coaches, but he will soon pass Bobby Knight and Roy Williams for third place. So pick one topic number one. Who wins more games in the next 5 years? Rick Pitino or Richard Pitino? Who wins more games as a head coach in the next 5 years? Rick Pitino or Richard Pitino? Please pick one.
I got into a car one time with a guy that had the most elaborate conspiracy theory surrounding Rick Pitino that I'd ever heard. It was looped in with Tom Izzo, who was the Mariucci, the former 49ers
Steve
coach.
Mariucci.
Yeah, like it was vast. It was an incredible conspiracy. Anyway, man, I want to. Rick's won a lot of games, but his son's up and coming, right? Xavier,
Rick Pitino is 73 years old.
Right. And Richard, how long has Richard had the Xavier job now?
About 5 minutes.
Yeah, not very long. So he's a guy that has the name that if he does well with Xavier, he's going to get some opportunity if he does well with Xavier. My thought is going to be, in this day and age, I'm going to assume that the son probably is going to be able to master the portal more than the dad at this point in time, and he's going to have more opportunity to do it. So I'm going to go with the son.
Couple of thoughts on this. Rick Pitino could have like a couple of 30-win seasons and then retire.
Sure.
Then Richard Pitino could basically flame out at Xavier and then be on TV.
Yeah, right.
So you never know. Okay, topic number two. Young adults are transforming breakfast by adding hot honey, hot sauce, and chili flakes to their morning meals. 74% of Gen Z describe themselves as spicy food fans driven by social media trends. 16% of those born after 1996 adopted spicy breakfast habits in the past year, compared to just 2% for baby boomers. So, pick one topic. Number two, what do you use more of, Coop? Hot sauce or chili flakes? What do you use more of? Hot sauce or chili flakes?
I have tons of hot sauce. That's one of the things. I have a slight collection of hot sauces I like to keep together, and I'll use those on different things. Don't use them as much as I used to, honestly. But for one thing, I'm cooking for my daughter now, too, so I don't add the spice as much as I used to. But I use chili flakes, and I do use them in recipes, especially to give some spice to stuff. But as far as there's always hot sauce on the table, and I'll still use it on most stuff. I'll put it on spaghetti or anything. So, yeah, definitely hot sauce.
Hot sauce. All right. Topic number three. With Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah is getting ready. He's going to be hosting the Grammy Awards for the final time. He is going to host a live World Cup watch party on YouTube during about 25 matches in the upcoming tournament this year. The event will take place as the games unfold across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico starting in June. He'll watch alongside friends, elite football fans, and top digital creators, offering conversation and commentary throughout the broadcast. So, pick one topic number three. Who would you rather go to a game with? George Carlin or Chris Rock? Who would you rather go to a game with? George Carlin or Chris Rock?
Okay, the absolute truth to this is, and I have the reasons for this. Number one, it's going to be George Carlin because I believe that he's probably a bigger sports fan. I don't know for certain. I don't know much about Chris Rock's sport, but I know that Carlin was a sports fan. Number two, the one thing I know for sure about Carlin, he knows when to be quiet. Like, if you just wanted to sit and watch the game for a few minutes, I don't think he'd have any problem. I mean, definitely not now, but when he was alive, he wouldn't have any problem with that at all, I don't think. That you could sit and rest comfortably in each other's presence for a couple minutes and not have to constantly talk. I'm not so sure that that's Chris Rock's vibe, so I got to go with Carlin on this one.
I actually think this is a pretty interesting trend by Trevor Noah to just have celebrities watch games at the same time. I think that's kind of interesting.
I think it's really cool, especially something that's somewhat niche like this. That's pretty cool.
Pick one topic number four. Phil Collins says he now relies on around-the-clock care as he continues to face serious health issues. He'll turn 75 this year. He says he has a 24-hour live-in nurse to make sure he takes his meds. He's undergone 5 knee surgeries and has kidney issues too. So, talking about drummers. Concert you're more likely to attend. Ringo or Don Henley? Please pick one. Concert you're more likely to attend. Ringo or Don Henley?
I literally had tickets to see Ringo and didn't make it to the show. I mean, what does that say, right? I mean, I wanted to, but I could have probably made a little bigger effort. But still, to be the truth of the matter, I like Don Henley fine, but I'm not that great of a fan, and I still know Ringo's catalog better, so I would go still see Ringo first.
So there's a chance if you had Don Henley tickets, you might not go.
That is correct.
Okay. Pick one. All right, pick one topic, number 5. Oh, man, did you know that the new owner of Nathan's Famous is Smithfield Foods? They just bought them for $450 million. And Smithfield is owned by a big Chinese conglomerate.
Okay, right.
So Nathan's Famous is now owned by Smithfield for $450 million in cash, slightly premium price of $102 per share of their stock. So pick one. Better hot dog, Nathan's Famous or Hebrew National? Better hot dog, Nathan's Famous or Hebrew National? Please pick one.
I haven't had Hebrews National a ton. I've had it a few times, but I don't love Nathan's. At least the ones that you buy at the store in the packages. I don't love those a whole lot. I usually will buy around that. If when I'm looking, I'll avoid the Nathan's in the store. So I'm not positive that this is a fact in my own mind even, but I'm going to go with the Hebrew National because I don't really love Nathan's in the store.
Just generalization. A Nathan's Famous hot dog is beefier. A Hebrew National hot dog is spicier. All right.
I can't remember the Hebrew National, but I know I don't love Nathan's for some reason.
All right. What do you got for me?
Okay, let's just start with something real easy here. So when you have something like soda or another item that have popular non-sugar alternatives, which do you go for? Say like for a diet soda or something, do you go for the fully leaded sugar version or the non-sugar version?
I always go for the non-sugar version.
Non-sugar, okay.
Always.
So you're not worried about that other stuff. Me either.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I'm past that.
Yeah, I don't drink enough for it.
I can't even tell you the last time I even had a real Coke.
Same here. I couldn't either. I had one by accident at a restaurant one time, and it about made me sick. It was so sweet. So yeah, I'm right with you on that. Okay, so another easy question coming up. Would you rather win Coach of the Year in the NFL or Best Director at the Academy Awards?
Best Director at the Academy Awards. It's a more exclusive group.
Yeah, I feel that it's a more, I didn't know, you never know.
Hey, man, Stefanski's got 2 of them, and he just got fired by the Browns.
Very true, very true.
Oscars live forever.
That's true, yeah. What if it would have been something like an actor award or something? Wouldn't matter.
Still, the Oscar.
Okay,
absolutely.
All right, let's see. All right, question number 3. This is one of those things where I'm going to tell you 2 stories, and you have to tell me which one is true. So, in the early 2000s, David Bowie, Tom York, and St. Vincent gathered at a remote Norwegian studio to experiment with ambient textures. One night on accident, the amplifiers were left on maximum in a weird configuration that led to a feedback loop when they started practicing when they were jamming around. They called the sound that resulted in the sonic veil, and they swore that it responded to movements in the room, and they recorded that. There's about 5 hours of it that has never been published, but bootleggers can get a hold of. There's also an experimental musician by the name of Quinteron. He's known for building his own instruments and performing contraptions. Among his inventions are a peculiar device like one named the Spit Machine, a handheld organ instrument that uses human saliva as a tuning conductor. The player would spit on a stick and then touch it to 2 metal leads, either end of the saliva line. Moving the leads closer together, raise the pitch, or moving them back and forth is what created the music. This was other liquids could also be used, but spit was the perfect conductivity, so it became known as the Spit Machine. So, of these 2 stories, which one is true? Is Quintron a real artist, or did David Bowie, Tom York, and St. Vincent really get together and create the Veil of Sound?
Man, I was first going to go for the Bowie and Tom York thing, okay? Because the details are so specific. On the other hand, the Spit Machine thing, I'm going to go Spit Machine. Is that right?
That is right.
That
is correct. I couldn't tell the whole story because it would make it even less believable. Like the dude worked with Muppets and everything else. It's an incredible thing. There's probably listeners, I'm sure, that knows who this is because it's not overly obscure, but I learned about it today, and very interesting.
I really wanted that Bowie Tom York thing to be true.
I know, right? That's it. That's 3. So we have 2 more. Real quick. Let's see. Question number 4. Would you rather be the record holder of a long-respected record about to be broken or the player about to break the record?
I think I'd rather be the Well, that's a tough one. That is a real tough one. Okay.
A bunch of people have over 61 now, but everybody still remembers Ruth.
Okay. I think I'd rather be the person who had a long-standing record that was about to be broken, because you would be remembered fondly, and you could be really gracious.
And you have no idea how long the new person's going to hold that record.
That's exactly right. It could be it's broken. The 20-year-old record was broken this week, and then it'd be broken again the following
How long did McGuire have the record?
Yeah, there you go.
Not very long.
Yeah, give me let me be the guy who has the long-standing record that's going to be broken.
Yeah, I like that question. I think that's where I thought about as well. Okay, final question. Which tragedy are you better equipped to survive? The Titanic sinking or the Donner expedition?
Oh, man. Well, listen. You're going to be knocked out, right?
Yeah.
For the Donner
The
thing.
big storm's coming.
Yeah, but you're going to be knocked out. It's not like you're going to be eaten alive, okay?
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Okay, is that fair?
I mean, they made some decisions along the way.
But if you're on the Titanic, you are freezing to death, okay? That is terrible.
Unless you're in the upper classes, maybe. But.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. No, I'm guessing. Which one is better?
Which one are you more equipped to survive personally?
Probably the Donner part.
Donner expedition.
Yeah.
Dave wants to be part of the Donner expedition. Headlines at 6.
And on that happy note, that puts a wrap on pick one. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll open up the On the State file.
MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. And we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
On the next State of Minds.
People appreciate cool tattoos and they appreciate good tattoos. It's a way to make yourself different.
What do you think would fit me?
I think think a ninja. A ninja with two swords.
All right, welcome back. 9 till. Time to break open the On This Date file. Start with the birthdays. Start with the sports birthdays. Pretty good sports birthday batch today. Mike Bossy from the Islanders, 69. Jeff Treadway from the Reds and the Dodgers, 63. Ray Rice, running back at Rutgers, all-pro with the Ravens, 39 years old today. Big Greg Oden from Ohio State, 38 years old today. Caitlin Clark having a birthday today. She is 24 years old. From entertainment, Linda Blair from The Exorcist, 67. Diane Lane is 61. Coop, Diane Lane is in her 60s? Seriously? Guy Fieri is 58. Speaking of television chefs, how about Graham Kerr, the Galloping Gourmet? 92 years old today. You go, boy. Events on this date, 1944, World War II. Allied forces landed at Anzio.
The first military surprise blow in the Italian stalemate comes in a bold, large-scale landing on the Nazi-held coast near Anzio. Yanks of the American Fifth Army seize a wide beachhead. Swarming ashore in force, they take the German high command completely unaware.
Also on this date, 1968 from television on NBC, Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In premieres.
Laugh-In, starring Dan Rowan, Dick Martin, Ruth Bussey, Alan Suze, and Lily Tomlin, with Dennis Allen, Johnny Brown, Ann Elder, Barbara Sharma, Richard Dawson, Larry Holmes, and special guest stars, the original Cuckoos, Judy Carn, Henry Gibson, Teresa Graves, Artie Johnson, Tiny Tim, and Joanne Worley.
There you go, Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In on this date, 1968. From boxing, 1988, Mike Tyson TKO's Larry Holmes in 4 rounds in Atlantic City to retain the heavyweight boxing title. The 38-year-old former champ was knocked down 3 times in the 4th before the fight was stopped.
Holmes is getting set up for the right hand. Here it comes. The left will come inside. There's the left. There's the right. Larry's ready to go again. He's hit with the left hand. 17 seconds. He may be able to get by the round now. He should be hanging on. Now with the right hand, the left hand. He's going to hang on, or they'll stop the fight. Down he goes. Larry's hurt. It's all over. He is knocked out. He didn't even bother the count. It was a vicious right hand. It came like a bolt. We looked for it, and Larry got hurt.
There you go. Mike Tyson defeats Larry Holmes on this date in 1988. And Super Bowl 23 in 1989, the Niners rallied to beat the Bengals 2016. Here's Jack Buck on the game-winning touchdown by San Francisco.
Now it's 2nd and 2 at the Cincinnati 10 for the 49ers, who trail by 3. Rice is flanked off to the right and comes in motion. Montana is back to throw. He looks and throws. End zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! To John Taylor with 34 seconds left. A 10-yard touchdown pass to John Taylor. And the 49ers lead by 3. And the extra point would put the nail in the Cincinnati coffin. And to John Taylor, for all you do, this buck's for you.
What a weird placement for that. Wow, that was really random. Our musical birthday to the break, Steve Perry from Journey is 77 today. The 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports are coming up next.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop Thoron.
Coming to the Beckley Convention Center, Saturday 23rd and 24th. Who are the toughest men and women in the state of West Virginia? Watch Tough Man live on MetroNews Television to find out. Featured fights, top 5 finishes, and event archives. Download MetroNews Television on iPhone, iPad, Android, Roku, LG TV, Apple TV, Fire TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Find out more at wvmetronewstv.com.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thoron.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
It's high school basketball season, and MetroNews Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream MetroNews Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on MetroNews Television.
Sports headlines at 5 o'clock. Marshall basketball. It was a noon tip at the Cam today, and Marshall made it count. They beat ULM in Sunbelt play 115-60 and knocked in a school record 26 threes in the process. Robert Saleh named this afternoon as the new coach of the Tennessee Titans in the NFL. And in a trade completed just a few minutes ago, the Nats have sent left-handed starter Mackenzie Gore to the Texas Rangers for 5 prospects. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Lost him. And you know what? It was just about to get good, too. It was just getting good. We lost
Should
him.
we take the break and maybe he'll call back? I don't know.
You know what? We can take the break, and we can see if Ethan can reconnect with him, because I want to hear where he goes with that answer. I don't know. CJ, I'm just saying, we just started bringing up some deep stuff, and then it gets cut off. Is the Illuminati listening to the show? Just saying. Welcome back to the show. 3 minutes away from 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock?
That's it. I'm going home.
Dang, man. See ya.
I wouldn't even be on the air on any of our stations before 8 o'clock. I don't know where that came from. Reading, it's hard.
Well, I think when you have a... I'll say in all candor, when you're in a foreign country and a monkey in a diaper sitting on your head, you're asking for trouble.
Discussion can end there. That's right. Boom. It's a definitive statement on the issue. Now we move on.
So how many times have you thought about that was a bad idea that I had a monkey on my head since you had the monkey on your head?
Every time I go visit Dr. Pellegrino, my personal doctor. Do you know what it's like to tell your doctor that?
Well, yeah, Doc, I also had a monkey. Excuse me? Had a monkey on my head with a diaper on. I bet you that's the first time Dr. Ron has ever heard that one. He's probably heard a lot of things.
He's heard a lot. Yeah, Dr. Ron has.
He's one of the great West Virginians. He's up there from the Northern Panhandle.
He's awesome.
Tremendous. Yeah, Dr. Ron. Good dude.
We were talking in my office earlier, and a phrase that Ryan used that I was really kind of gobsmacked over. He started a sentence with me. He said, "We were watching football on Thursday."
I know, he did the same thing to me. He did this. Is this like Earth 2?
I said, what?
He came back and started telling me about the Cowboys and the Chiefs game.
I know.
And you were watching the Lions game on
Yeah,
Thanksgiving Day.
Well,
What happened? What happened to our little Ryan?
Well, when my Uncle Bill and my Uncle Chris asked if I want to watch football with them, I don't say no.
Okay.
So because I'm not a recluse anymore.
So if you have uncles that are big sports fans, do you get some creds? Are you like, hey, I'm actually you want to kind of sports show, syndicated?
Well, I don't.
Statewide.
Well, I don't want this to be a sports show.
Second game this season that Honors had 8 threes. Second time he's had 8 threes, and his coach has pulled him out with over 4 minutes to go.
You're up 40.
Yeah, but coach just does not want to see him get that record.
There may have been a discussion about that on exactly where he was in the number.
Did you let him know this time?
But there was a discussion about where he was with the number. But at the end of the day, Ross decided the juice not worth the squeeze there. With 3.5 minutes left is when he pulled him out after the timeout there. And that's a guy with a lot of minutes on his in his body. You need to rest him. But 2 out of 11, you got to think maybe he's going to approach that again. Here's what's wild. In those 2 games where he's just been one off of Alex Ruoff's record, he's now a combined 16 of 20 from 3 in those 2 games. So he didn't just make 8 threes, guys. He was 8 of 11 last night. He was 8 of 9 when he did it before. 16 of 20 combined in those 2 games.
Across this great state of West Virginia, welcome in high school game nights. I chuckle a little bit, folks, because it said early edition.
As compared to the
Only
rest
edition.
of the edition, yeah.
Yeah. Tonight is going to be interesting, to say the least.
10 seconds remaining.
Going to be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
You had a moment of clarity about when it all started to make sense for you?
It did, because I didn't want to be a filmmaker growing up. I didn't even know what filmmaking was growing up. I used to watch Oprah and Katie Couric, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be you. And I worked at West Virginia University's radio station, had a very thick accent. People would call in and make fun of me. And so I asked my roommates, my college roommates who were from Baltimore, to teach me how to talk differently.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a loss, I feel, from that. And it's probably one of the reasons why I love documenting people that are authentic. Like, I don't know if I'm authentic, but I think the people I find are very authentically who they are, and that's what draws me to them.
This is MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law. MetroNews Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no-politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Here's the host for MetroNews Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. 5:06 in West Virginia, ready to start the third and final hour of our program today, MetroNews Hotline. Thanks so much for tuning in. We got a lot of good stuff for you in this particular hour. Oh, it's Thursday at 5 o'clock, so you know what that means. Amy Smith from Investors Business Daily is on deck. She'll be front and center here in just a second. We like to take about 10 minutes each week just to talk about your stocks. Now, we do the financial report every day at 4 o'clock. We give you the final numbers of stocks that are on the move that are related to West Virginia, energy prices. We've been doing some Bitcoin lately, too. But this is the segment. We do it once a week, every Thursday at 5 o'clock, where Amy comes on and you get a chance to pick her brain about any individual stocks you're interested in, buying, selling, holding, or maybe you've got a comment about the financial markets. Go ahead and send me a text on that, 304-TALK-304, 304-8255-304, and get your individual stock questions in there for Amy Smith. We'll knock those out here in just a minute. There is a lot of stuff to talk about today. So I got a lot of stuff for Amy, but I'd like to get some listener questions in there as well. All right, our question of the day today. Maybe you've heard about it. We got a big storm coming this weekend, major winter storm hitting the East Coast. It's going to include West Virginia, going to be arriving on Saturday. So the question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law, what are your plans if you're snowed in all weekend? And are you the kind of person who suffers from cabin fever? What are your plans if you're snowed in all weekend? Are you the kind of person who suffers from cabin fever? Let's get into some of these here. Matt, listening out in Utah, says, Dave, just came by to say I'm jealous of some snow right now. We've had like 1/10 of an inch of snow this year out in Utah. It's depressing. Coop, you'd think Utah be the kind of state that would be like hammered with snow, right? You know, isn't that the case that Utah gets a lot of snow? Maybe I'm wrong about that.
I mean, I camped in the Rockies in Utah for about a month in the month of April. It was cold, but it wasn't snowy there, even at some elevation. But I think they must get some snow. It's arid, so maybe not a ton.
Matt's listening.
He can tell us.
Yeah, man, help me out with that. Let's see. Andy Smith on X. Dave, I'll be watching the UVA North Carolina basketball game at noon on Saturday. Then find a binge watch with the wife. Sunday is NFL's 2 competitive games, and then we'll finish off the day with PBS. Shovel during and after the snowfall. Now, wait a minute. The NFL conference championship games, one's on Saturday and one's on Sunday, aren't they? No, I guess they both are on Sunday. Excuse me. That's right. So the AFC championship game is Sunday at 3. That's the Pats and the Broncos, and that'll be on CBS. The AFC championship game, that'll be Rams Seahawks. That'll go to around 6:30. All right. My bad on that. I thought they were split. Apparently not. A couple more here. Let's see. Here's Todd, who says, Dave, I'll be out riding ATVs on our farm and enjoying the weather. Cabin fever? Never heard of her. The less I have to leave the holler, the better. Jim Fink on X. Dave, bring it on. Snow, we'll take it as it comes. All right. A little bit later on in this half hour, we'll play in or out. That'll be at 5:25. Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com. WVU, impressive basketball win. Any win in the Big 12 on the road's a good win. So West Virginia wins first road win of the year at Arizona State last night. We'll get Kevin's take on it. At 5:40 this afternoon, Jeff Jenkins will be by with a Capitol Report. We're running down what's going on at the West Virginia legislature, and then more of your responses to our question of the day about what you got planned this weekend. If you're snowed in, and are you the kind of person who suffers from cabin fever? Also, I mentioned it in the sports update at the top of the hour that Marshall played at noon today at the CAM, and they beat ULM in Sunbelt play 115-60 and hit a school record 26 three-point shots in that game. We have post-game sound now into us from Courtney Jackson. So we'll hear what he has to say about Marshall's big win this afternoon. But let's go ahead and get Amy Smith in here from Investors Business Daily. Now, Amy works at IBD out in Los Angeles in California, but she grew up in West Virginia, grew up in the Elkins area, and she's the shining pride of Randolph County. And I tell you what, Amy, it's been quite the roller coaster as far as the financial markets are concerned since we spoke last. How you doing out there on the West Coast today?
Hey, doing just fine. I hope everybody's okay with that big storm that's coming. Yeah, we had a big sell-off. We had all this scare about Greenland, and the market tanked and it was down like 900 on the Dow. But now we tensions around the Greenland have de-escalated. We've had a couple of good days here. We've had stocks that are rebounding and looking pretty good. So, and next week we've got a huge weekday. We've got on Wednesday, the 28th, we've got Tesla, Microsoft, and Meta, and on Thursday we have Apple and Amazon. So we have kind of an exciting week ahead.
All right, why don't we talk about a couple of these stocks that you just mentioned? Because even though they're in the Mag 7, they're not all the same. This is a group of stocks that trade together, but they aren't exactly the same. I wanted to ask you about Microsoft, first of all. I thought this was really interesting, where Microsoft has been drifting lower, but it kind of turned on a dime today around midday and showed some strength into the close. When you take a look at the chart of Microsoft, MSFT, what's that saying to you? How do you feel about Microsoft at this level?
Well, I think you're right, Dave. If I were to draw a little trend line, and I'll take it down to where it popped today just above 450, I think maybe it has put in a bottom. We'll have to see. The trouble is, you got earnings only a week away, so you don't really want to go into the stock before the earnings because anything can happen. But certainly, I think it would be a good place to get in if they report strong earnings.
Yeah, and the thing about Microsoft, I mean, if you take a look at it, year to year, this thing's essentially flat. I mean, it finished the day at 451. We're basically back to where we were a year ago. And year to date, we're down about 7% on Microsoft. And for a lot of people, this is a core holding.
It is. And so, I don't think the company, Apple's also down. That's had some weakness as well. I think we talked about that last week. But it doesn't mean that these stocks are down and out. It just means that they're taking a breather, that they're not as strong as some of the other stocks in the Mag 7. But I certainly would not count Microsoft out.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Meta. Okay, so Meta had quite the interesting day, too. It ended the day just shy of $650 a share, and it's been a while since we've had a very positive day on Meta, and it was up almost 6% today. This is another one of the Mag 7s that has been kind of struggling in recent trading sessions. I think the general consensus on the market is that maybe it's spending too much on its AI strategy. What do you think about Meta's chart right here?
Yeah, that was the problem with their last earnings is that they were talking about all the spending on AI, but they didn't say how they were going to monetize that. So that was what everyone had in question. But today, you're right, it came back above the 50-day moving average. It had heavier volume on it. That was, let me see here. Yeah, the volume was up a little bit. So there could be another bottom for Meta, too.
All right, let's talk about Apple, because I think of the Mag 7 stocks, Apple has probably been the one that has been consistently dropping week after week. I mean, how many weeks in a row has this thing been down? We're talking about 7 or 8 weeks in a row. Now Apple is down under $250 a share. If you've never owned it because it's been so expensive, I guess the question is, when do you want to dip into it?
Well, and there again, I think a good time for all these stocks, to be honest with you, the ones we've talked about, in this next week, so we have 7 days here, that would be an excellent time. If it pops above 250, we get some good volume on it, the earnings are interesting, that's a good time to enter a stock because you don't really know what's going to happen before earnings, but certainly after the report, you'll know.
The regional banks have been kind of a mixed bag today, but if you take a look at the ETF of regional banks, KRE, it's really been red hot. It's at a 3-year high right now. Take a look at that chart. Have we missed the move on KRE, or is that a good way to play regional banks as a group?
Well, I think it is a good place to go into the regional banks. I don't think it hasn't been such a stellar move. Although, Dave, let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's been up like the last 8 weeks. They had one break in there, but I don't think that it's popped so high that it's really precipitously out of range. But It's an interesting space. You're right. It's recovered.
Yeah. Also, it just seems like the market is lurching back and forth on comments by the president. I just wanted to ask you, today he's decided that he wants to sue J.P. Morgan and he wants to sue Jamie Dimon specifically for J.P. Morgan debanking him when he was not in office as the president. How do you feel about JPM right here when you have a story like that that's breaking? Is this an opportunity to get into a quality name, or do you step back and just watch and let the thing play out? What's your take on J.P. Morgan?
Yeah, I think I would just let this one play out. Now, before President Trump said anything, as you said, this stock was falling anyway. It pulled back the last week and a half. I think I would just leave this one alone, not try to play this. It could be up and down, depending on the news. I think I'd wait a couple weeks.
All right. Now, finally, and by the way, if we have any listeners who want a question for Amy Smith, now would be a great time to send a text in on that. 304-TALK, 304-304-8255, 304. We've got Amy on the line for a couple more minutes. Let me ask you about Netflix.
Yes.
Netflix has reported earlier this week, for the most part, its numbers were good. They announced for the first time ever they've got over 325 million subscribers worldwide. But this stock continues to be hampered by where it fits into this drama surrounding Warner Brothers Discovery. Is this dead money? Is this a good time to get in here with Netflix floundering in the lower 80s? It's been drifting ever since it got into the mix with Paramount Skydance trying to buy WBD. What's your take on Netflix here?
Yeah, this is another one. I would wait until we get a decision about the acquisition of Warner Brothers, because that could be a big catalyst. It could be a way that Netflix has more growth without increasing their prices. They would get some fantastic merchandise, some fabulous films and TV shows. I think until we see if they can come to an agreement, I think the stock is going to flounder. Because one thing that Wall Street doesn't like indecision. And so until a decision is made on this, the stock's going to be kind of dangling.
Hey, finally, I've got to ask you, one of the biggest stories in the market is just what's going on with commodities, right?
Yes.
Gold seems like it's on a path to 5,000. Silver is over $95 for the first time ever. Copper, tin, natural gas has just been raging. What are your thoughts on commodities, and where are you playing the metals themselves? Are you playing the miners? Do you have a thought on commodities here, Amy?
Yeah, I would say like AG is a good one to play if you want to play silver. Now, the thing of it is, because and there's several names in the gold space. You could play AEM, you could play several others, but they've been running. They're so hot. I just feel like they're so hot right now. At some point, they're going to take a break from this. And the reason people have gone into the precious metals is, all this political uncertainty and everything, and that's the flight to the precious metals, which is what has happened. I don't know. If someone isn't already in them, I'd be careful about entering them now.
Yeah, and I think maybe you'd have to have the same strategy for the memory plays here too, right? The Microns and the SanDisks, aren't we at the top here?
Yeah, a lot of those things have popped as well. I think the next movers in the market, Dave, I think if we get into the earnings and let's see what some of these companies say, and we're going to get right in the thick of it next week. So that'll play big, but not only just the Mag 7, but a lot of other companies. Let's see if the rally can be broad, if earnings can be broad-based, and then that would be good for the market.
All right, got to leave it there. Amy, thanks for jumping on and talking financial stocks with us. I do appreciate it. Have a great week, and we'll do this again next Thursday.
Okay, you too. Take care.
All right, Amy Smith from Investors Business Daily. Always good stuff. Let's take a break, and when we come back, it'll be time for In or Out.
Hi, I'm Nathan Adkins with CEC. Why did I choose CEC? It's simple. As a Huntington native and a Marshall grad, I'm thrilled to work in CEC's Charleston office, giving back to my community. At CEC, I dive into every engineering aspect, learning from West Virginia's best. Being employee-owned means that I have a stake in my future. We're not just names on projects, we connect with clients, adding personality to every job. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
You can call us at 800-765-8255. Text us at 304-825-5304. Or tweet at WEEKLEY. This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra. Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown!
All right, welcome back to the show. It is time to play a little in or out. Every day at this time, we focus on the stuff you talk about at the office. We call it in or out. The setup is simple. There are 3 categories: food or beverage, gut reaction, and finally, this one's about a celebrity, the topics of which change daily. Let's get started with food or beverage. Coop, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, Red Lobster is rolling out its annual Lobster Fest nationwide, including 4 new limited-time seafood dishes. Lobster pasta au gratin, crispy dragon teriyaki lobster, Lobsterfest boil, and the return of lobster chops. The Lobsterfest menu is now available. Lobsterfest at Red Lobster, in or out?
This is just a personal thing for me, not any other reason, but I do not eat lobster, so I'm out.
You don't eat lobster?
Crunchy spotters, not into it.
All right, all right. You've never had lobster?
I've had lobster. I just don't eat it.
You don't eat it?
Yeah, I mean, I've made a judgment not based off of just looking at it. I mean, I've tried it and I've decided that its benefits do not outweigh my ick factor from it. So, yeah.
The ick factor. Aaron Parker's here. Aaron, what are your thoughts on this Lobster Fest at Red Lobster, in or out?
I'm a seafood guy, although, I'm usually more shrimp, oriented first. And I've just only had lobster a few times. Like it. There's not many seafood I don't like. Never had Red Lobster in all my years. But I'm at a point where, I'm a skinny guy and I've, metabolism. I'm finally, able to have a good appetite and eat. So I'm not going to say no to any seafood. So I'll be in on this.
All right. Yeah, I'm in. You know what? It's been a while since I've done Lobster Fest, but I'm in on that. I kind of like the Red Lobster. All right, fine. Gut reaction is next. Coop, we've had a lot of financial stuff today, right? We had Shelley Hustle. We just had Amy Smith. Gut reaction. Steak and Shake is going to pay employees Bitcoin bonuses tied to their work hours. They're going to begin offering workers hourly bonuses paid in Bitcoin based on hours worked and store performance. The restaurant chain confirmed the voluntary incentive program expands its cryptocurrency strategy beyond customer payments. Getting your overtime in Bitcoin, in or out?
Personally, I'm out. This is elective, so it's not like something you have to do. I don't have a problem with them giving the option out there, but it's not something I would personally do, so I'll be out on it.
It'll be out. All right, Aaron, what are your thoughts on this? Getting your overtime in Bitcoin, in or out?
Yeah, so if the question was steak, Steak and Shake in general, haven't had that much either, but I like it. Good burger and fries sounds pretty good right now, but going to be out on the Bitcoin. I don't want to mess with that. And then also a little bitter at Steak and Shake, even though I don't eat it that much. Spent 4 years in Morgantown at WVU, and they put one in right after I left. And then also, like a year after I left, you get a Raising Cane's there too. So I got a little bone to pick with old University Town Center in Morgantown.
It's okay.
Nice.
This is interesting. Steak and Shake became the first major U.S. restaurant brand with a dedicated Bitcoin treasury, reporting a 15% same-store sales increase from crypto-paying customers. I don't know. I kind of feel like this might be a way to wet your beak in Bitcoin. It's not your paycheck. It's just your overtime.
Just your overtime.
Yeah.
You can go to any ATM, and you can get it at. You can cash it with. Yeah.
Yeah. Good
luck with that.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Nah. I'm going to be slightly in. I'm going to be slightly in on that. All right, finally, this one's about a celebrity. Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis is going to star in a movie, Murder, She Wrote, for Universal. She's going to take the role of Jessica Fletcher that was played by Angela Lansbury on the TV show on CBS from 1984 to 1996. Jamie Lee Curtis, $2.5 billion in movie sales. Jamie Lee Curtis, Scream Queen. In or out?
Is she still a Scream Queen?
Is she?
She did do all those reboot Halloween films. She was in just about all of them, I think.
Yeah.
So it's not like, but she didn't scream much. She was like kind of the Sarah Connor. She was out for revenge. Man, she has a free pass for like The Fish Called Wanda, as far as I'm concerned, right? And not to mention a million other great films like True Lies. I'm definitely in on Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Aaron, what are your thoughts?
If you listen to In or Out when I did this regularly about 6 months ago, before I changed shifts, I don't watch movies, but Jamie Lee Curtis, she's in a couple good ones I like. Christmas with the Cranks and Freaky Friday. I like that one. I'm in.
All right, I'm in as well. All right, we'll take a break. Kevin Kinder's next. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Morgan Pemberton. Residents of Wayne continue to face uncertainty as they are still under a do not consume order that was issued last week after oil from an Appalachian Power Company substation got into Camp Creek. County DEP, Department of Health, and utility officials met with residents Wednesday, where residents expressed their frustrations. Two residents say officials aren't being straightforward.
You've not answered one thing. Oh, I understand. That's not yes or no. We are mending to no right now. And you think that's okay because we're small? You are out of your mind.
Ain't nothing but a bunch of hot air coming out of your mouth.
Department of Health officials said line flushing is underway and asked residents to flush the lines in their homes if they still had the smell of oil. Officials also said they don't know how long the order will be in place. And officials in the state education department say they have begun examination of the books in the financially troubled Hancock County. State Superintendent Michelle Blatt says even though they just started the review, they have already found some interesting things.
As far as contracts, how many are over 200-day, how many 261-day employees, possibly some bonuses that were provided which are not legal under state code.
Hancock County has been described as having 140 employees over the state funding formula. The review comes after the school board voted to take over the county last week. You're listening to Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Since 1914, Greer Limestone and Asphalt have been laying the groundwork for America's roads, buildings, and bridges. What started as a single limestone mine near Morgantown, West Virginia, has grown into the state's largest producer of limestone aggregates. But Greer doesn't stop at rock. Greer's Morgantown and Clarksburg asphalt plants produce top-tier paving mixes for driveways to major highways, crafted to meet federal standards. At Greer Limestone and Greer Asphalt, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
The Mountain State's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show returns to Milan Park in Morgantown March 7th and 8th. Over 100,000 square feet of campers and RVs, boats and ATVs, hunting and fishing supplies, guns, knives, and more. Limited vendor space is now available. To put your products and services in front of over 10,000 outdoor enthusiasts, visit WVOutdoorSportsShow.com. The 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, presented by Can-Am, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown, a WVRC media event.
One person is dead following a single vehicle wreck in Wayne County, and that has closed US 52 in the area of Tulsa High School. According to officials, the crash was reported before 3:30 p.m. at the intersection of Webb Road. No other information has been released. And U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of West Virginia, Moore Capito, will officially be sworn in tomorrow. An investiture ceremony is set to be held at the Robert C. Byrd Courthouse in Charleston, beginning at 3 p.m. Capito was confirmed to the position in October after being nominated by President Donald Trump. From the Metro News anchor.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back to the show. Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com, coming up in a moment. A little bit later on in this segment, Jeff Jenkins will be by with a Capitol Report, letting us know what's going on at the legislature here in West Virginia. Here's a quick reset on our question of the day, and it's sponsored by Solango Law. Major winter storm hitting the East Coast, including West Virginia this weekend. The question, what are your plans? What are your plans if you're snowed in all weekend? And are you the kind of person who suffers from cabin fever? What are your plans if you're snowed in all weekend? And are you the kind of person who suffers from cabin fever? You can text those in, 304-TALK-304, 304-8255-304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, three E's, WEEKLEY. Toddster on this. Dave, I've got no plans. Been through several snowstorms in my time. This one is being overblown. And I hope you're right about that. Bananas for WV. Dave, I remember the blizzard of 94. We didn't have power for a week. The only heat we had was from a wood stove. We actually made soup and fried eggs and bacon on top of that stove. By the end, I just wanted to go to McDonald's again. And we have a bunch of text messages about this as well. We'll get into those in a minute. But let me bring Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com, into the mix to talk about the old gold and blue. How's it going, Kevin?
Doing just fine, and I agree with Toddster, man. So many times these things, are just all, panic attacks and whatever. I guess we actually get it, I'll laugh at all the videos of people running out to buy milk and bread.
Yeah, there's already a little bit of that. Hopefully, it'll be over, soon after it begins. Hey, so what was your take on West Virginia's basketball game at Arizona State? Mountaineers breaking through and getting a road win last night. 75-63. What'd you think?
It was a good one. And I know Arizona State isn't the greatest team in the Big 12 by any stretch, but these are the teams that West Virginia is competing with for standing, in the Big 12 on the ladder there, which We know that's big. Another piece of news out today about that. And, for maybe, just maybe, taking a shot at an NCAA bid, I still think, that's going to be really difficult. But if they can beat the teams that are around them and below them in the standings, and then pick off one or two more, they might have a chance. So, a good win for WVU.
Obviously, West Virginia has not had a lot of road wins so far this season, and to come through and really dominate the second half in Tempe last night against the Sun Devils on a night where Honor Huff only had 8 points and really did not get dialed in, I think that's really impressive.
It is, and it's, points out again how this West Virginia team will win. Yeah, it's got to have its big guys usually score, but if they don't, they can win it with combination of contributions from other people. Jasper Floyd had a really good all-around game, both offensively and defensively. Chance Moore didn't play a lot. WVU's been really piling up the minutes on its first 6 or 7 players, but when he got in, he was effective. West Virginia attacked the basket pretty well, something that's been difficult for them to do, and scored several times over Arizona State's big men. So, like I said, it's not one of the greatest wins in WVU history or anything, but it's an important one for this team as it tries to make a shot at the postseason play.
Coop, I think we've got a comment from Bobby Hurley after the game last night. After West Virginia outscored the Sun Devils 40-26 in the second half and went on for a 12-point win, 75-63, a game in which the old Gold and Blue were down by double digits in the first half. Bobby Hurley does not sound like a coach here who is long for this job.
But we talked about taking a foul at the end of the half. We had 5 team fouls, and none of the players on the floor had a foul. But this is why things that we might draw up on a board in a huddle don't get executed sometimes, because there isn't a commitment to listening. And we lack discipline in terms of listening to what some of the things that I'm trying to get across to the team. So my voice is not working with this group, and it's that was a great example of it.
That sounds like a dead man walking. He does make an interesting point about Huff and that 3 that he hit at the horn at the end of the first half. I mean, West Virginia goes to the break. They're only down 2 instead of 5. That was a big bucket.
That was a huge shot, I thought. The only thing is, from anybody else, from most players in the nation, you would say, okay, that was just a lucky heave or whatever. For Honor Huff, is that kind of his specialty? He has made some of the most difficult, improbable shots, over defenders, falling out of bounds. It's just crazy how he can get shots away. So, I think Arizona State had to know, hey, you got to contest that ball everywhere on the court. But, yeah, I think so. Any play in the first half, and that includes, all the shots that Trace and Eaglestaff made, a couple of big rebounds WVU had, that was a big one. It really put them back in the game.
So West Virginia in the second half of that game really put the pedal to the metal, 58% from the field, and they held the Sun Devils to just 38% after halftime. All right, so, now West Virginia gets a shot at number 1. There's only 3 undefeated teams left in college basketball: Arizona, Miami of Ohio, and Nebraska. It would be massive if West Virginia could beat Arizona this weekend.
Oh, this would be huge. It'd be like, hey, a couple of years ago when the Mountaineers having a really bad season down Kansas, on the home court at the Coliseum. The good thing, I think, another good thing about the Arizona State win, it makes this Arizona game, it's not a mandatory, it's not a desperation thing.
Right.
If West Virginia wins it, great. But if it doesn't, it still has a chance to accomplish a lot of things this year.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, as we wrap up with Kevin Kinder, I on social media, I pointed the people who follow me to a really interesting conversation I saw yesterday on YouTube about J.J. Weatherholt, who's going into spring training with the Cardinals with a chance to maybe start or be heavily in the mix in the infield for the St. Louis Cardinals this season. And there was a little chatter about Victor Scott, too, that Victor Scott, who played a lot as the primary center fielder for the Cardinals last year, spent some of the offseason in Morgantown trying to sharpen up his offensive game. He's at the bottom of the batting order for the Cardinals, seen primarily as a speed guy, a defensive center fielder. I mean, but these are two former Mountaineers who are going to play key roles for St. Louis this year.
He really could. And, Victor Scott has, hit another thing where he contributes, obviously, with his speed is stolen bases.
Right.
To do that, you got to get on a little bit, though. So if he can just bump his batting average a little bit, be a little bit more selective at the plate, put the ball in play where his speed also comes into play. Yeah, that could be great. I mean, everyone expects Weatherholt to hit. I'm sure he'll go through some struggles, where people will be questioning, hey, is he as good as what everyone says he is? But I really think he is. So, hey, man, what a lot of fun. When's the last time a Major League team had two Mountaineers on it that could potentially be playing key roles? Man, maybe a wraparound 9-1 in the batting order, something like that.
I hadn't thought about that.
A lot of potential.
Yeah, I hadn't even considered that. Hey, before I let you go, any reaction to the Big 12 football schedule that came out, and specifically West Virginia's schedule of games in the Big 12?
Definitely. Been looking at that, working on a couple things. I have an article on that up in the next day or so at bluegoldnews.com. I think, once again, man, that start of the season is so important. Can West Virginia figure out a way or find a way to beat Virginia on a neutral field? That just looms so big because, if it can get the first two wins, which it, can reasonably be expected to do, somehow knock off Virginia, and then you get Oklahoma State in the first game, which is probably, its rebuild is obviously going to be massive. You can do those things more quickly now, but still, that gives the Mountaineers a chance to get off to a really good start. And it hasn't been able to get that one big win at the start of the season in recent years. A couple chances against Penn State, you had a pit loss, all those kind of put a ding in the season before it got started. And those first four games are really big for WVU this year.
All right, got to leave it there. Kev, thanks for jumping on with us. We'll do it again next week.
Definitely, Dave. Stay out of the snowdrifts, and hope to see you on the other side.
Yeah, see you on this other side, brother. Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com. Hey, by the way, within the last couple of minutes, we've had another coaches hiring in the NFL. That's two today. Robert Saleh is the new coach of the Tennessee Titans. And within the last few minutes, the Baltimore Ravens have made it official that they are hiring the Chargers defensive coordinator, Jesse Minter. So Jesse Minter, the new coach of the Ravens, and Robert Saleh is the new coach of the Titans. All right, here's Jeff Jenkins with today's Capitol Report.
This is the Metro News Capitol Report, brought to you by AARP West Virginia. AARP is your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State. Connect on social media at AARP West Virginia and learn more at aarp.org/WV. Today's report in 60 seconds.
AARP is your wise friend and fierce defender as you age. Life changes fast, and so do the challenges. Scams are getting more sophisticated, and caring for loved ones can feel overwhelming. That's why AARP is here. We're working to help you protect your hard-earned money, sharing tips and tools to help you spot frauds and scams. Every day we're supporting family caregivers and fighting for things like expanded, affordable, high-speed internet service and ensuring access to home and community-based services that are so critical to family caregivers. With 250,000 members in communities throughout the Mountain State, AARP is your trusted advocate at the state capitol and beyond, fighting for policies that make life better for older adults and their families. Everyone in the Mountain State needs someone in their corner. That someone is AARP. For more information, connect with us on social media at AARP West Virginia or find us online at aarp.org/WV.
It appears the more the State Department of Education looks, the more they see. In Hancock County, the state board seized control of the system last week because of financial problems, being 143 employees above the funding formula. State School Superintendent Michelle Blatt telling members of the House Finance Committee today at the Capitol they are learning some interesting things.
As far as contracts, how many are over 200-day, how many 261-day employees, possibly some bonuses that were provided which are not legal under state code.
State Department of Education lead financial officer Uriah Cummings says it appears that bonuses came twice a year.
They were making a fall and a spring local payment to employees.
To all employees or to specific employees?
To all employees, a flat sum of money that was split in half, once in the fall and once in the spring, to which there is no applicable state law that allows that practice.
Blatt says the review of the finances will continue. It appears that for some reason they need to reach out to investigators for possible criminal charges. The department will not hesitate. I'm Jeff Jenkins on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement, and we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
On the next State of Minds.
People appreciate cool tattoos and they appreciate good tattoos. It's a way to make yourself different.
What do you think would fit me?
I think a ninja. A ninja with two swords.
All right, welcome back to the show. About 9 minutes till the hour. Coop, there's been a lot of stuff that's happened in our little broadcast window today. So Marshall played at noon today in Huntington at the CAM. This was a game that originally was set for 7 o'clock, then it was moved to 5 o'clock, and then because of the storm, moved to noon. And you're thinking, Well, that's kind of to the advantage of ULM. There won't be as many people in the arena. Didn't matter. I mean, Marshall came to the arena with their shooting eye clearly focused. They win the game 115-60. They outscored ULM in the first half 65-36 and then doubled them up in the second half 50-24. In the game, Marshall was 50% from three. They smashed the old record. The Herd's record for the most threes in a game was 19. They made 26 3-point shots today. So they break the century mark and a little bit more. And when you see that, you think, man, couldn't they save some of those points? Save those points for another game? But they win easily, 115-60. And the weather also is impacting Marshall women's basketball. They have a game, women's game at Southern Miss that's set to begin in about 9 minutes. Then they have to travel to Monroe, Louisiana for a game that was originally scheduled for Saturday but will be played tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So when was the last time a Marshall women's basketball team played 2 games in 2 different cities in less than 24 hours? That is a rarity. We do have a little bit of post-game sound from Corny Jackson, Marshall's coach. This is his opening statement following the Herd's 115-60 win over ULM today.
No, it's pretty impressive. You know what? Our guys have been dealing with the changes. Are we going to play at 5? Are we going to play at 12? We found out yesterday about noon, and now we had to adjust and move our practice times around. We had an early morning shoot around. These guys handled it like pros. And obviously came out today and shot the ball well. We had 29 assists, 13 turnovers, but we shot the ball well. We hit the offensive glass. That's 2 games in a row. Our last time out, we had 20 offensive rebounds. Today we had 19. So proud of these guys. Proud of everyone contributing. And we've talked all year about this team and the shooting abilities, right? Shooting, these guys can really shoot the basketball. Been watching it all summer. Today is the first day that we pretty much had everyone on, right? We've been waiting for this moment, and I'm glad it came today.
There you go. That's Corny Jackson after Marshall's easy win, 115-60 over ULM this afternoon. Coop, we got some breaking news for those in Charleston in regards to what's happening with the storm this weekend.
This is kind of a big story right now. We've been talking about it all week. What's going to happen with all the events that's taking place over at the Civic Center this weekend or the Coliseum this weekend? We know the hunting and fishing show. Glenn Jarrell was in here yesterday. Said, "Hey, these boys are coming no matter what. They're outdoors people, so you would expect for that to be the case." And that's still carrying on. However, one of the other big events in Charleston this weekend is the Jason Aldean concert, which was scheduled for this weekend, and now it has been rescheduled from Saturday night until Friday night, August 21st.
What's the date on that?
So it's going to be, man, that's a big punt. August 21st, Friday, August 21st.
Wow.
Will be the Makeup Jason Aldean show. So that is big news. Tell your brothers, tell your sisters, tell your mothers, tell your fathers. A lot of people were coming out to that show, and you'll have to wait till August. Those tickets will still be good, but no refunds. No refunds.
Ooh.
So those tickets will still be good.
Hey, that was
understanding.
That was going to be a real cluster, though, right? I mean, with people at the hunting and fishing show, and then people trying to come into the Jason Aldean show Saturday night, and then leaving the concert in the middle of the blizzard.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I remember last year the Reds Caravan came through town right during the hunting and fishing show, and there was a couple. Rhett Lauder, I think, specifically, man, he was ready. He wanted to go down to the hunting and fishing show. He wanted nothing to do with media. He wanted to go down there and look at some guns and stuff. He was pretty cool about it.
Nice. All right, so things that have happened in this window. Jesse Minter is the new coach of the Ravens. He canceled a second interview with the Browns earlier today. Now we know why, because he got the Ravens job. Robert Saleh got the Tennessee Titans job today. And from baseball, really curious deal. Mackenzie Gore, the left-handed starter for the Nationals, goes to the Texas Rangers for a package of 5 prospects, a 5-for-1. Coop kind of reminds me of the old 5-for-1 Vaughn Hayes deal when Vaughn Hayes got traded from the Indians to the Phillies back in the early 80s. 5-for-1.
How many of those guys in that deal are like very niche specific rebuild project / whatever types of guys? Because there's no way I haven't looked at the deal, but there's no way those are like 5 of their top 50 prospects.
They have one. There's one. There's one.
That's what I figured.
All right. We'll take a break and come back and wrap it up in a moment.
Discover the WVRC Media app, your gateway to pristine audio for every WVRC radio station across West Virginia. Download it for free from the Apple or Play stores and enjoy the best music, talk, and local news from Beckley to Morgantown, Charleston to Martinsburg. Our stations are locally programmed, delivering the finest music and robust local news and sports coverage. Experience West Virginia radio like never before. The WVRC Media app. We're proud to live here, too.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. My why is diversity in unity, a safe space in my community, living with sincerity, giving every day my everything. With my why, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror and everyone belongs. Find your why. Learn more at ymca.org for a better us.
West Virginia Outdoors is the Mountain State's only hook and bullet radio show, dedicated to the more than 250,000 hunters and anglers across the state. Award-winning host Chris Lawrence has been tracking down hunting and fishing stories for more than 25 years.
I shot him. He ran over to the edge of the field. He made it about 5-10 yards out of the edge of the field and fell over there.
West Virginia Outdoors covers it all. Saturday mornings at 7:06 a.m. on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Ask yourself what you will miss more, your children or cigarettes. As long as I can remember, my mother smoked. She died from lung cancer when I was 16. I could not take the chance of continuing smoking and not being here for my daughter. I know how much I needed my mom still, and I didn't realize it until I had lost her.
You're not just quitting for yourself. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
After my wife died, I felt like I lost everything, including my love of fishing. But one day, my granddaughter called, and I realized I still had a lot to look forward to. I got referred to a psychiatrist who explained depression can happen to anyone. Getting help doesn't make me weak. It makes me stronger. I just wish it made me better at fishing.
Mental health care is working for Diego. See what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Listen, I'm a West Virginian through and through. Grew up in Bridgeport, 35 years in the Charleston area. Rooted for the Mountaineers since, well, let's not talk ages. You won't find a bigger fan of our teams, but they get called out when they deserve it. MetroNews Hotline is the same for everything. Movies, music, local happenings, my inside knowledge, and occasional rants. Meet Coop's sharp humor, guaranteed to spark good talk radio. Think you can keep up? We're your afternoon anecdote to the ordinary on weekdays 3 to 6 on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and tools they need to succeed in life. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
Hey, folks, we're late. We got to get on out of here. Stay tuned for the news and sports line. I'm Dave Weekley. I'll talk to you Monday, beginning at 3:06 right here on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.